You're absolutely right. I'm the first to admit it. If this were a scary movie, I'd be the prime suspect. That's right.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Horror Movie Rewind. I'm Dustin. Welcome back. Welcome for the first time. In either case, if you've never done so before, really appreciate it. It'd be really badass. You hit that like and subscribe below us.
Hope you like what you see.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and knock this out. Get it out of the way. Yeah, Stu Macher's coming back. Nothing against Matthew Lillard or the character, but I don't think I need to tell you that that's not going to be the big reveal. He's built on posters. He's done interviews. It's absolutely the opposite of a secret. So you're not going to have that be the central, like, bad guy reveal. Just simply not fucking happening, right? So I got a lot to say, but I don't want to spend 45 minutes doing so. Obviously, you can read, so that title card I just gave you, we're going to start in the first film. At times, I will pop back and forth from two because there's some clustered characteristics of Randy that are suspicious. But yeah, again, for the sake of this part, we're going to start towards the end of the first film.
Another beer, you want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back. You see, you push the laws and you end up dead. Okay, I'll see you in the kitchen with a knife.
Yeah, so Stu asked Randy if he wants a beer, and Randy says, yeah, sure. Stu does his, I'll be right back. And then Randy goes on some like rant for like 2 sentences. But he finishes it with a line that seems very important, and it's, I'll see you in the kitchen with a knife. Now, we all know how this film ends, and we all know the like strict like alibi they were trying to provide with knifing each other up, that being Stu and Billy in the kitchen. Sure, people get killed in horror films in kitchens all the time with knives, but there was a matter of factness to it. You also have the fact that the two known Ghostface slice up everyone from our principal Henry Winkler plays to a cameraman whose name they didn't even know, yet Randy somehow is spared twice. Probably most notably in this scene.
Stu's flipped out. He's going mad. We all go a little mad sometimes.
No, Billy!
Yeah, so Billy, you didn't seem all that mad at Randy Meeks because you were probably 5 feet away from him and you shot him in the damn shoulder. You also have the scene where Ghostface is lurking behind a seemingly shit-faced Randy.
That closes he's right around the corner. Jimmy.
And Randy's talking to Laurie Strode, you know, giving her advice on how to dodge Michael Myers. And yeah, sure, a knife is raised. Now, we know that that's Stu in that costume because at that same time, Billy's upstairs popping a cherry. But, you know, doesn't kill Randy. Randy's spared in 2 different occasions. Now, while we're on that scene,
Let's go.
yeah, so how the hell did he end up outside 2 minutes later? I mean, this guy was like so pissed himself drunk, he could barely be expected to walk, yet he only beats on the window of a van 200 yards away when Gail Weathers finds a cinder block that you can use to communicate with the police, although he eats it in the face. But yeah, I don't see the same Randy we just saw 2 moments before. Now, there's a lot of other things that I could pick out, but I'm not going to make this video last forever. One of the most like telltale scenes in the whole film is what I'll call the bench scene, and that's at the beginning of the film after Casey Becker and Steve are murdered the next day at school. And if you'll look, there's little things like this. It's just that wink that he does, which if you look at the camera angle is like directed towards Billy. But there's no inclination whatsoever when you rewatch it, knowing that Billy and Stu are the murderers, that he's not aware of it or in on it. There's one thing though that no one ever talks about, and to me it's pretty apparent. And if we're going to go on the cult of Stu Macher, again, which was supposed to be the plot of Scream 3, and is almost absolutely going to be a factor in this upcoming film is that Randy and Stu were probably best friends. I know that kind of comes off weird if you don't really delve into it, but you know, Stu goes and hangs out with Randy at his job, and almost every scene that they're in, regardless of whether other people are around, whether it's Billy, Tatum, Sydney, they're the ones kind of shooting the shit back and forth. Like, they're good buddies, you know? Yeah, so with that being said, I'm pretty certain that Randy picks right back up in the second movie. It's a little tougher to understand, like, how he developed a relationship with Miss Loomis or Mickey. Yeah, they didn't grow up together, right? But Randy does seem to be kind of chummy, so to speak, with Mickey. Even though they bicker back and forth, they are pretty friendly throughout the movie. Well, at least until Randy supposedly does. But the point is, Randy, in my opinion, commits the first murder that we'll see here. Here's how I'm going to explain that one pretty certainly. If you look back in these scenes,
Yeah.
Sarah Connor.
Yes. It takes a man to do something like that.
Yo, I done got your ass in a second, kid.
Tell me something.
Did you really put her liver in the mailbox? Because I heard that they found her liver in the mailbox next to her spleen and her panties.
I thought it was publicity stunt for Christ's sake.
And want a bit of good one, too.
It's starting again, Randy.
It's not. A lot of shit happens at the movies. People get robbed, shot, maimed, murdered. Multiplex is just a very dangerous place to be these days.
you'll see that Randy is very annoyingly habitual in his imitations of not only movie characters, but other human beings. And if you paid attention in the Omar Epps death scene, you'll hear that weird, like, mumbling, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm 95% sure that that is from the original Black Christmas, which, interestingly enough, has an antagonist whose name is Billy, and he has mama issues. It's not without reason, I promise you. So, yeah, Randy would be the most logical choice to be in a stall, and might I add, that was not necessary to commit the kill. Like, you didn't have to trap him or... yeah, we know he put his head up against the fucking stall door for some reason, like a weirdo. But, like, it wasn't necessary to have that dialogue from whoever the Ghostface was, whoever being Randy Meeks. It was a little subtle hint thrown out there for you. I'm sticking to that one. All right, at the same time, it's not a secret that Randy has a very big disdain for sequels. He says as much in the film theory class. And that ignites a debate back and forth. Again, I've already talked about this in the Why is CC Cooper in the trailer video. But yeah, so at the party that they're attending when CC Cooper gets murdered, you have this scene.
Empire Strikes Back. Better story, improved effects.
Not a sequel, part of a trilogy completely planned.
Yeah, I like those little bird things.
So yeah, Mickey is like, oh, I got you. Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, sure. Why the hell didn't you think about that one in class? I think that in Godfather 2 are pretty much the like no-brainers on the best sequels as far as like critic opinions go. But Randy says something very interesting. So, not a sequel, part of a trilogy, completely planned. Yeah, again, Kevin Williamson's back. Kevin Williamson wrote the first two films, and by all accounts, it seemed as if like the trilogy was kind of the main goal. Of course, you know, money supersedes that, but I don't have a hard time at all thinking that the original plot of the third film being the cult of Stu Macher, we know this because that was the case, and that Randy may just very well be being set up in the second film to be the main antagonist of the third film because you have this scene.
And number 3, if you want your sequel to become a franchise, never, ever
How do we find the killer, Randy? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so when he's talking to Dewey and they're bouncing back and forth, Randy's doing Randy shit, talking about, rules of film. It's very interesting that he's about to say something about a trilogy in the second film, and Dewey cuts him off. Like, again, not an accident. Randy also has a penchant for lack of a better word, dipping out. And it's almost like he does an anti-Irish goodbye. He feels the need to tell people, like, kind of detailed explanations of why he's going to disappear from the frame, from the scene. This starts in the first film with this.
Oh, really, Alicia? As if. I'm gonna go check on her. Come on.
I think it'd be explained if you want to like go that far with maybe he's the one that was supposedly attacking Billy when he gets done, with Sydney upstairs. Somebody had to do it, but go check on him. It's almost like he goes, but yeah, neither here nor there. It's just he does say he's going to go do this, and it never shows him like knock on the door like, you guys okay in there? Now, in the second film, he does this twice, pretty close together. And while nobody is murdered in the meantime, so you can't say that's where he went, what he was doing. If you look at the first one I'm going to show you here.
Catherine plans.
Chief Hartley, do you plan on giving the town a curfew?
I'm gonna get closer.
Going to look at Gail Weathers' calves, you can see Mickey kind of turn his head and laughing, which would make sense because I kind of got to like assume that like he's, in on it with those two. Here in the second scene.
You okay? Who's that guy?
No, friend.
Deputy Dude, Westboro's finest. What's he doing here?
He's worried our surrogate big brother.
Nothing like a funeral bringing the family together. I'm gonna go say hi.
And when he's walking up, he is looking nervous as shit. Look at him, just like turning his head back and forth. I've said this a lot in this video, but things like that are usually not without purpose. Like, those are things that would get cut if they were repetitive in a film. If they don't serve that purpose, then someone editing, much like I should probably do my videos more often, is going to say, look, if this doesn't have a purpose, we are pretty much being redundant with Randy saying that he's going to do these things. No, it's with purpose. It has to be. Now, again, they don't all directly tether him to putting a buck knife in someone. This was supposed to be a trilogy with Kevin Williamson, right? Which is what we're about to get, essentially. And probably the most important thing is how could Randy Meeks be alive? That one's probably the easiest thing to explain because you watch this scene, his murder scene. Supposedly. Yeah, so let's keep a couple things in mind after seeing that. Randy's a horror movie fanatic. Randy's pretty bright. Randy is a film student. And again, Randy would have the ability, more so than anybody else we've probably met in this franchise, to fake his own death. And in that scene, if you'll notice, he walks by the van, stops, pauses, gets frustrated, walks away, starts shouting loudly so that people will take notice, pay attention. He's drawing attention to the fact that he's on the phone in some kind of conflict, and then he walks back to the van where I don't know if somebody wasn't on their cue and they weren't in the van, or they didn't understand that it was time for them to open the door and pull him in, somebody being whoever was in the Ghostface costume. But what the hell would he walk to that van, walk away, and then walk back to the van? Randy faked his death.